So, you guys know that I started this glow up series because please don't mind my dog. My dog sees another dog walking outside. So, hey guys, welcome back to another glow up episode.
Yay!
Today's episode is all about healthy routines and just some things that I like to do to start my morning, just so I feel the momentum and that energy for the rest of the day. Take what resonates and then leave whatever doesn't. This is just my routine that I've been doing lately for myself. So I just want to share those details with you. So if you're ready, let's go. First things first, I absolutely love affirmations. I feel like this is such a huge thing to really create momentum in your morning, to really vibrate on such a great frequency of just positive energy all day. So the first thing I like to do is when I'm feeling in a sleepy state still, I will actually grab my phone and I will listen to a recording of myself of just affirmations that I'm working on about money, or if I'm trying to create some, energy about like my business or things like that, I will have affirmations, directed towards something that I'm actually working on at that time. The reason why I do this is because it allows myself to create such a nice energy for the day. And again, it sets the tone of what I expect my day to be. I will also put in there stuff like my life is perfect and my experiences are always perfect. I believe in miracles and I experience them every day. A best case scenario of today, I'm going to learn something new. I always get inspired ideas every day. Stuff like that, just because it gives you such a openness to whatever the universe and God has for you for the day. And I just love that feeling. It really just gets me psyched for the day. So that's key number one that I like to do is do a recording. Again, you can do a recording on your phone, or you can download the app Parrot. It's free and you can just go ahead and say your affirmations on there, and then you can loop it for a couple times if you like, however long you want to listen to it. But I typically like to do that the first like 10 minutes before I actually get out of my bed, because again, I want to set a tone for myself that my day is going to be magical, but also it's going to be everything, all the things that I'm expecting to happen that day is going to be attracted to me because now my mind is open for me to receive. So, routine number two that I love, love, love to do is I'm so big on journaling. I love to get up, grab my coffee or tea, whatever I feel like drinking in the morning, and I'll sit down with my journal for a few minutes and I'll make sure that I write three things that I'm thankful for the day, or for my life, whatever it is that, again, I'm choosing to experience. So it can be something that I currently have. If I don't know, I'm like, I always say I love that I have a beautiful home that feels safe and sacred and it's my own place, and I have, the luxury of living on my own and stuff like that. Like, really filling into each gratitude, because when you're grateful for your experiences, things that you have in your life, it really sets a tone to create more things attracted to you. And when you're on this higher frequency, I love doing these routines because it helps create an openness again to your subconscious to really gravitate things towards you. Because when I don't know if you've ever noticed, like when you wake up and you're just like, oh, I have to go to work and it's gonna, like, I hate my job and this and that, and you're throwing out words. Those are actually affirmations that you're saying to yourself that's getting programmed into your subconscious, that is reflecting the rest of your day and how it's going to look like. And it ends up being shitty. You end up getting stuck behind someone who drives really slow. You get every red light. There was an accident on the road, so now you're 20 minutes late to work. Whatever it is, you end up amplifying the same way, but you're doing it the opposite. Instead of getting yourself, positive things, you're actually giving yourself, the energy and the vibration of negative outcomes. So this is why I absolutely love writing in my journal, even on the days where I'm like, I wake up and I'm feeling like, man, I don't know. I don't feel like doing anything today. I don't feel like the greatest, whatever it is, right? Because I'm not going to say that I wake up perfect every single day. There's going to be some off days. It's rare, but I have them once in a while. And the journaling and writing my gratitudes always helps remind me and switch me back into the state of remembering that I have everything that I desire and everything that I want now. So there's nothing to worry about and there's nothing to be angry about. There's always something to be thankful for inside your life. It's just that we're so programmed with society to tell us to focus more on the negative stuff. Like I stay away from the news, I stay away from all like social media content and things like that because it really does affect our everyday lives and it affects our moods. And I don't want to be dictated by someone else's opinion. I want to be dictated by myself and what I choose. And what I choose is to be grateful every single day. So, tip number 3 is, get yourself a good book, read, learn something new. I love doing this right now. My daughter and I have been proactively reading a book together. We're already on our second book in this novel series or this collection. The reason why I chose to read this book with her is because it really helps us. Well, first off, she's brilliant. She's smart. I love collaborating ideas with her and just being able to share that feedback. When I do that, I feel like I always learn something new. And so that's why her and I are actively reading together. And this is just like a must for me. Like, no matter what, I've always loved reading with my daughter. She was dyslexic, and so she had a hard time reading. And so we learned to read together, right? And ever since then, her and I just really enjoyed reading books together. And it's just a chance for us to like connect. Because again, I'm a mom and I get busy. I have things going on. So I don't always have time to dedicate like all this time for her. But I like to set aside a chance for us to read together. Because again, it allows us to connect, it allows us to, you know, continue on that positive vibration for the day. My daughter is homeschooled, so it's a little easier for me to do this. But again, these are things that I like to do. If you like to read at the end of the day, go ahead and do that. If you want to journal at the end of the day, go ahead and do that. The one thing I will say is the affirmations as number 1, have that like somewhere in your morning routine. Even if you get yourself up and you're getting yourself dressed for the day, say your affirmations there like, man, I look so beautiful today. I feel so good in my own skin. I love everything about me. Because I love me, other people reflect that energy back. Like, things always are so amazing, best case scenario, whatever, right? And you just kind of get in that momentum. But the journaling and like the reading is what I like to do again in my routine, but you can add this in whenever. And then I will take time to get myself outside. I typically do a walk first thing in the morning for at least an hour after my journal and my reading with my daughter. That is such a great time to disconnect from everything. Disconnect from your phone, disconnect from any social media. It really allows us to disconnect, to reconnect with ourselves, to really remember that we are creating everything in our lives and our experiences. So let's create something that's peaceful and attractive and, really creates the foundation of your life. I think we're so caught up in our problems, our stresses, our jobs, our kids, everything. And sometimes taking some time outside in nature and doing a walk around the block. I mean, I used to do this at my lunch all the time. Go walk around at lunch. Spend 30 minutes of walking around instead of sitting and scrolling on your phone and giving yourself information that kind of gives you more anxiety. Am I right? Because then we start comparing ourselves to people on social media and what they have. And then you start getting into that state where you're not feeling grateful. And again, like I do all of this in the morning because it sets my tone for the day. And I highly recommend doing a morning routine similar to this. It doesn't have to be identical, but it could be similar, like reading, a couple pages. It doesn't even have to be long. As you're sipping your cup of coffee, just think of 3 things to yourself that you're grateful for. Oh, I'm grateful that I have, the opportunity to take a few minutes out of my morning and really, pour into myself and remind myself how amazing my life is and how grateful I am for my husband and my kids. Or I'm grateful that I have a job where they really value me and respect me. And, I have friends who are always by my side whenever I need whatever, right? Get into that, like, again, as you're drinking your cup of coffee and just feeling present in that moment to really absorb that energy so that it can reflect for the rest of your day. Guys, this is simple, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a routine that I like to do before I start my workday. It really makes a difference. It really amplifies my day. And people always ask me, like, how come you have such a bubbly like personality? I can feel your energy, through the phone. Or when I see somebody, they're like, you just look like you're glowing. And honestly, it's just reminding myself every day that I'm truly blessed with so many beautiful things in my life. And you could do the same thing just by taking a few minutes out of your day. Oh, and I almost forgot the most important thing. I always take time to do meditation. This is key number 4. You don't have to do this, but I do like to take even just a few minutes. I know sometimes, like when I'm at work and I'll sit in my car, like let's say I had a rough day and I'll sit in my car and I'll take 3 deep breaths and just remind myself, like, today is just an amazing day. And I don't care what happened 5 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, 5 hours ago. I'm still having an amazing day. Everything's going well. And I choose to only see the beauty in today. And literally, it switches. Guys, when you do this often enough, you start to see something different in your everyday. You really start to see amazing transformation, and you're like, damn, like you think it's not anything, and then you stop doing it for a while and you're like, okay, I need to get back into that routine of doing my affirmations and doing my gratitudes and reading, something, good for my brain, and taking a walk around the block, taking a second to meditate. It matters. It matters because it reminds you to stay present. It reminds you to that no moment matters except for right now. And right now, you are being grateful. And right now, you are projecting only positive energy because that's the only thing you accept. Don't accept anything less. And the whole point of the Glow Up series is that in order for us to glow up, we must show up for ourselves. And this is a self-love thing, a self-care thing that I believe you should add into your everyday routine. So, with that, guys, I hope you have a good one and stay tuned for the next episode.